And Walt, when you were in transitioning from NBA tryouts, and then you had a son, you were raising a son, and you also were a little depressed because you weren't able to do your NBA dream. That had ended for you, so that was hard to let go, but you ended up letting go. Was there something that said, okay, I gotta let go, let me move on and do something else?
Yeah, it was fighting. I mean, martial arts is, man, I've grown up a ton. You know, it's cliche as it sounds, like everybody talks about martial arts discipline, and like it's a fact, man. Like it changed my life for the better. It changed my family's life. I've met so many great people, you know, from the martial arts, and I definitely believe that was what made me realize, you know, hey, it's time to move on, time to go on to a new dream. You can have success in this if you put your focus into it, like you did basketball. And that's what I did, man. I accomplished my dream of getting to the UFC. You know, still trying to get that first win. You know, that's my next goal. So, you know, I put my mind to it, got it done. Now it's time to go get that win.
You worked for UPS. You were a furniture mover.
Yeah.
So this wasn't like, hey, I'm here, just give me everything, give me everything.
I had to work for everything, man. I had to work for everything, man. It just, it was a difficult transition in the sense of fighting and having to train and having to lift furniture, and then, you know, it was tough for a while. But then as the UFC dream began to come more real, I had to let that go and start focusing completely on training. And that's when I moved down to Top Team and started coming here to train and getting into the, you know, actual fighter lifestyle, like taking this as a job, you know, and not doing it, you know, on the side.
How did you get to Top Team, American Top Team,
man,
Coconut Creek, South Florida?
My first loss as a professional, I met Dean Thomas, and I was heartbroken after the loss. I was in the locker room, I was in tears, and Dean so happened to be cornering a guy who was fighting on the same card. He was in the locker room, and he came up to me. He was like, man, you got a lot of talent. He was like, where do you train at? And I'm like, I train in Alabama. He's like, you need to, you know, come get some good training, you know, like with some guys your weight, your size, push you to the next level. And he offered me an opportunity to come down. They flew me down here for 2 weeks, and the rest is history, man. I had a couple other visits set up to go to AKA and go to Black Zillions. I came here and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I don't need to go see anything else. I want to be here. So.
You're coming from a basketball background, a sports background. You've played other sports. Team. And yes, American Top Team is a team, but once you're in that cage, it's one-on-one. How much of an adjustment was that for you, going from a team sport to now an individual sport?
It wasn't honestly that big of an adjustment, because in life I'm a team guy, you know, like I'm always trying to help my teammates, and I look at this as you're only as good as your team, you know what I mean? And if I don't have good training partners, or if I don't have guys pushing me every day, staying on my back, keeping me focused, you know, then I can't succeed on fight night when I'm in there by myself, you know. So team is huge, and at American Top Team, it's more than team, we're a family, you know. It's a brotherhood for sure. So that in itself it was.
So that team element is still there for you.
It's definitely still there. It's a huge part, you know. We just like, you know, we hang out outside of the gym. We, you know, go to the beach. We do stuff together. It's a brotherhood, so it's huge.
How did you get the nickname The Big Ticket?
Oh man, I used to be called the Assassin, and one day my mom came over and we sat down and we looked on a database, and there was literally, I kid you not, 450 guys called the Assassin. So my mom goes, well, I had a dream that you would be a big draw. And I was like, wow, okay. And she goes, but I see like you selling out a lot of arenas. And I'm like, okay, what about Big Ticket? Then I thought about Kevin Garnett, and I'm like, oh, he's already got it. She goes, well, nobody has it in fighting. And I'm like, And I go, well, I don't think Kevin Garnett will fight me for it either. So I kind of ran with it. You know, I hadn't heard anything from Kevin Garnett. Hopefully, if you see this, Kevin, hit me up on Twitter, something, you know, let me know you approve. I'm a big fan. But, so yeah, that was kind of how that came about. My mom was like, Big Ticket. I ran with it, and it stuck, you know, and everybody likes it, and, you know, and I ran with it.
Being from Birmingham, for basketball then, who were some of your sports idols growing up?
Man, Charles Barkley for sure. My favorite basketball player of all time. Jordan, of course. He lived in Birmingham. Got a crazy story about him. I don't know if we got time for it, but
sure we do.
Okay, so when he played for the Barons,
he was playing baseball. That's right.
He was playing
minor league baseball with the Chicago White Sox organization.
And he got sent down to the Birmingham Barons. Well, my mother, she was a supervisor at the Meadowbrook Post Office, and she used to get his mail. And so every weekend on Saturdays, I would go to her office to try to catch him because he would never come in during regular hours. He would come in after it was closed to get his mail. So my mom was like, come to work with me and you can see him. So for like 3 months straight, I went every Saturday. I kid you not. I would sit, and I was like 10 years old. I sit up there, and I'm just like, Mom, he's never gonna come. She's like, I promise he'll come one day. So one Saturday we leave, we go across the street to get gas at the BP, and I'm heartbroken. I'm just like, I want to cry, I quit. I'm sitting in the front, and my mom like taps me. She goes, look who's in front of us. And I look up, and it's Michael Jordan pumping his gas, and I'm just like, I'm starstruck. My mom's like, get out, go talk to him. And so I kind of get out all nervous, and like all these kids are kind of going up to him, trying to shake his hand. And I'm just like shaking, and I'm like, hey, Mr. Jordan, and he kind of shakes me off, and it broke my heart. Like I went in the car and I just started crying. My mom, she looks, she goes, what happened? Did you get his autograph? I'm like, no ma'am, he said no. And she got out of the car and she called him by his full name. She goes, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you shake my son off, I'll keep this office open for you to keep your mail. And he looked and he saw I was hurt, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Harris. And he kind of waved, and he's like, I'll get him something, I'll send him something to the office. He gets in his car and he leaves. I'm just devastated. So I go home, and the next weekend, I'm at home, my mom calls, and she goes, I got somebody wants to talk to you. I'm thinking it's Michael Jordan, but it was Charles Barkley. And they were having lunch at Lloyd's, and he's on the phone, he's like, I heard, and him and Michael were really cool. He goes, I heard what that ball head, it did to you. And I'm like, oh, this is Charles Barkley, I'm going nuts. He signed the receipt he ate dinner with, sent it home by my mom. I still have that, actually. And one of the biggest moments of my life. So I became a huge Charles Barkley fan, started buying jerseys and shoes, everything, So that was my story for Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley.
Of course we have time for that story. That's a great
awesome
story.
That's one of the highlights of my life, for sure.
Fans, Walt Harris, The Big Ticket. They want to find you on social media. Where do you have fans go?
Facebook me. I have a fan page, Walt Big Ticket Harris. I think my regular page is full. I think I'm at 5,000. But follow me on my fan page. Twitter, The Big Ticket 205. Instagram, The Big Ticket 205. And I try to talk to everybody. I try to socialize with everybody. So hit me up, man. I'm always around.
The Big Ticket, Walt Harris. He's a basketball player. Now he's an MMA fighter, fighting for UFC. Big time, Big Ticket. He also is a college graduate. So there you go. He'll be fighting Cody East, UFC 197, Saturday, April 23rd, MGM Grand Garden Arena, Jones versus St. Preux. You got to check it out. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you.